My name is Emma Taylor and you are listening to the Obscast.
Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello and welcome to the Obscast. This is Joe here, and you may realise the sound is slightly different to usual at the moment. That is because I am outside on my way into Sherwood Observatory for a Perseid viewing session, or as I'm dubbing it, the Perseid party. It is just gone 9:30 in the evening, and shortly a group of members will be starting to arrive for an overnight astronomy session. This brief section of the Obscast is just to give a feel of the evening's viewing and a taster of what it might be like at any future meteor viewing sessions at Sherwood Observatory. The sky is not looking great at the moment, but I'm not worried, because even if the clouds fill the sky all night long, I know a man with the power to see through clouds with the aid of an antennae built by his own hand and some computer software. Of course, I'm talking about our own chairman and radio astronomy coordinator Sparky, and I suspect he'll be here soon, and we'll get started to we'll get ready and set up for the first arrivals to come. So I'm going to go and I'll head in now and see what we need to get done. Right, I'm just heading over to the reservoir now to talk to Julian, who is down there preparing something else for the members tonight. Seeing as it's a bit cloudy, we like to have different things to do, and I'll see what he's got going on. You may be able to hear as we walk in something already, some music or some atmospheric. It's a bit spooky. Hello, Julian.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, Joe.
Do you mind if I ask you what you're doing down here tonight for members?
Well, what I've decided to do to put on for members is a bit of a light and audio show in our reservoir in its raw state before we hand it over to the main contractor in a few weeks.
Excellent. I thought it sounded a bit more atmospheric on the way down there when I came in.
Yes, because the acoustics are just amazing in here.
Yeah.
It's good to show off what we can do.
Yeah. Well, like you said before, yeah, it's a good place for music and sound. And as you've said before to me, once it's gone, it's gone. It's gone.
I mean, we're hoping that we'll still have some kind of soundscape down here when it's completed. It'll be a lot cleaner for starters.
Yeah.
It shouldn't get so muddy, as we always do coming down here, because effectively the walls are still going to be brick walls. We're not going to be putting much in here to absorb the sound, but so we should still get some soundscape, so it might be interesting. But it's good to see it in its completely raw state still, and use it before we hand it over, really.
Yeah, I agree. And this, like a viewing session tonight, it's good to have alternative things to do, seeing as it's cloudy at the moment. It might clear up later, but it's definitely going to have its patches, at least big patches. So we have this down here for us to come and enjoy the soundscape, the lighting, have a talk down here about the future of what's going on, maybe as the group, and also we've got obviously radio astronomy that Spark is doing in the lecture room, so we can mess around with the meteor detection system and see what data we can get through there. I'm noticing still here that something is different in the middle here.
It is very much different, because what we've done over the last couple of weeks is a small band of dedicated volunteers have dug out the sump, which was the lower central area where the valve sets were, that was covered in God knows how many years of crud and rubbish that we dug out, ready for the valves to be cut and removed, which happened last week. They were cut up and removed, ready for restoration, which is part of Heritage Lottery funding that we've received to do that specific project, to show off the history of the reservoir. So they were lifted last week, which is why there's a bit more of a void in the central area.
Yes, so they've gone away, they're being refurbed, and they're coming back for display.
They are coming back. We're not quite sure where we're going to mount them, but they're going to be blasted, cleaned and painted so we can show them off as museum pieces. We're not quite sure where they're going to go yet, but they'll be on site somewhere for people to see.
Well, thank you very much. I'll see you later when we come down here.
Excellent.
I'm going to make my way up to the observatory and see if people have started arriving, because it's getting on about time. Thank you very much. Right, we're well into viewing session now, and we've got clear skies and lots of people outside viewing. About 15 of us here now, I think, and the clouds have parted. I've seen about 8. RAC's just picked up a massive one. I didn't start recording in time to get the loud cheer, but I'm going to go speak to Sparky about it now.
It's just before school.
Yeah. Whoa, there you go. Oh, another trail. That was a brilliant one. That left a trail. Fantastic that was.
Yeah. Stepped out just in time to see a massive one.
Oh, did you get it, Frank?
Did you see? Very nice.
I'm okay. That was brilliant, that was.
Sparky, don't stop looking up because I don't want you to miss anything, but can you tell me what you just saw? 2 big ones. I heard 2 big cheers.
2 big cheers, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, both of them with Perseid's meteors, and they roughly crossed from Cassiopeia going southward, and they left a trail. Both of them left a trail for about a second or so.
Incredible.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I was just setting this up inside, missed the first one, but I got the second one.
Yeah, fantastic, isn't it? That was a beautiful one, that.
And we got a good turnout because the clouds are cleared now, and
they
15 people have turned up on a gamble that the clouds are going. It's paid off.
Absolutely. This is fantastic.
Racking up lots of numbers now. Well, thank you very much. Let you get back to it.
Lovely, thank you.
No. Wow.
You have your hands forward towards the front of the
Does it not pick up the satellites then?
No, it seemed to be. I don't think we get a bounce. We wouldn't get a bounce off them. It's too high.
Come on.
Put your back against the wall.
It's just faster flying.
There's a satellite going over there. Where? Over there, just got under Cassiopeia and now heading north. Over there.
Making life really hard for ground-based telescopes, doing all sorts of interesting things they can't do.
There's one going across as well,
Yeah.
from left to right.
Many years ago,
How was
the
I
age
left?
of 8, there wasn't that many satellites going over, but they used to print in the telegraph the actual times when they're going over the satellite, which was really good. I used to buy it for that when I was a lad.
Huh?
Too many of them now. Yeah.
So we're currently coming inside because the clouds came out, and we wanted to have some soup that Sparky had made for us, which was very nice. And while we're in here, we're looking at what Sparky's got set up for us in the lecture room, which is the meteor detection system. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, Joe. What we're talking, what you're looking at here, is the UK meteor beacon, which is being streamed from down London area over the internet using our transmitter. Basically, Brian Coleman, the lead on this. This is being picked up from his actual setup down London. So what we're seeing here, we can see this straight line. Now, you can't actually see it, so what I better explain is this is what's called a waterfall, and it's a moving, like a waterfall, and the signals are showing as they scroll down the stream. Now, what we've got is a big line there. That's actually an aircraft.
That's a big vertical line.
Big vertical line is an aircraft. Now, these smaller horizontal lines are actually the meteors coming in. and they're the head echo. The little fuzzy bits above it are actually the trail that we're picking up. So there's two parts to the meteors that we're seeing here.
Okay, so what I'm seeing on the screen is this. It's like a scrolling page, which is what you're saying is the waterfall.
Yep.
And when a meteor comes across, there's a small horizontal line and a noise.
Yep.
And there's if it's a plane going over it or something similar, I'm guessing that's when it's the long straight streak because something is going slowly. Is that right?
That's it. That's the long streak. Now you might have heard of what they call a ping. That's the effect that you get. What we have to do is to tune it to kilohertz off frequency to actually allow the ping to be heard. If you tune it to the exact frequency, you won't hear anything.
Okay.
But as you can see, Joe, there's one that's about halfway down now, which gave quite a nice ping. We've been seeing some really nice, lovely ones where the actual trail has been 20-30 seconds in length, which is great.
Yeah.
Scientists can actually use that to actually measure wind speed at high levels, at 50 miles and above. The Brams transmitter is actually used for that in Belgium. That's what they do their research with, but we can pick it up as well. Now there we go, we've got another one coming just there, you see.
Yeah.
And another one over there.
So they come in, there's little times where they come through thick and fast, and we've seen quite a few through the radio astronomy and optical tonight, because the clouds are passing in enough for us to do both, which is great.
That's right. Now you'll notice, Joe, that they're at different frequencies.
Yes. Oh, can you hear that? There we go. What's going on there?
Right. So what we've got there is a meteor that's coming. There's the head echo there, and this line here, which is probably, let's have a look at the 15, 20, 45. It's about 25 seconds in length. That's how long the actual train's actually been left in the air that we're getting a pick-up of. As I say, these are ones that are going to be picked up, and you can measure the actual... I don't know what that was.
That wasn't a ping. I think that was someone falling over.
Yeah, that's what you can measure the wind speeds up with there. But you'll notice, Joe, that they actually align across a wide frequency.
Yeah.
And basically, this is the Doppler shift that you see in here.
Okay.
So what's happening is it's high. That means that it's coming towards us, and as it passes, it's going the other side, which is redshifted, which means it'll come down and it's gone over us.
Okay, so does that change depending on where the beacon is?
Yes,
is
yeah.
Relative.
Yeah, what the team are working on at the moment is to get set up a number of receivers at distance. One of them is actually trying to get one in Sweden, and basically with these different positions give you different Doppler shift, and with a bit of clever mathematics of the computer, you can actually produce 3D images of them. Okay. So you can tell where they're coming from, at what height, what speed, and you can also backtrack to tell exactly what orbit it was around the sun.
Wow.
So there's quite a lot you could do with it.
That's amazing. Right. Can't believe that. You can track the orbit back of a...
Yeah, you can track it back. That's an aircraft there.
Yeah, long vertical line.
A long, yeah. And you can see actually when the aircraft turns, you'll see the actual Doppler shift changes as it turns to come into land. So, I mean, some of these are landed down south. Some of them will be at East Midlands Airport. So, now here's one that's coming here. Look, Now this is quite red-shifted this side,
Yeah.
and some of it is actually blue-shifted.
Yeah.
That's likely that it's exploded in the air, and so
Wow.
the debris is going in all directions.
Oh wow.
To give you that.
That's
view
amazing.
effect.
Like the date, the information you can pick up from this data coming in when
yeah.
you know what you're looking at and how to read it.
That's right. And this is just off one receiver. Once the network's set up and the algorithms have been completed, you're going to be able to pick this up over the internet and actually see real time, and all the directions and speeds and everything will actually be produced. So we'll know quite a lot about the meteors that are coming in.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Sparky. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Actually, it's a binary star. If you look at it, that's a two stars. So if you look where the handle of the plough is, then you come up with sort of 3 stars that go like that.
Yes.
And then if you come to the left, there's 4 stars, probably in a very...
Diamond.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Draco the dragon. So that's its head,
Yes.
and that's its tail. So basically you've got a bear, and you've got a dragon.
Yes.
And then you can see those 2 faint stars there.
Yes.
That's
Side by
part of,
side-ish.
yeah, that's part of Ursa Minor.
Right.
Yeah, the lesser bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
I will write.
Let's say there's absolutely big stuff. You actually see the arms of Milky Way right above them at the moment. Yeah, absolutely.
The
With that
summer
many stars,
triangle.
it's so confusing, you know.
Stick around for this month's amazing Look Up section with Steve Smith coming up next.
Look up at our September skies. Hi there. I started doing the monthly Looking Up articles mainly to inform members new to astronomy about the many changing objects that come around each month. There's always plenty to see if you are aware of what is currently up there. So, when the next observing opportunity presents itself, be prepared with an achievable list of objects to see. That way, you will get to see a lot more stuff and build up your repertoire of favourite objects. You can pick some targets from my Looking Up article, or scan through magazines like Astronomy Now or Sky at Night, or take information from apps, star charts, etc. The nights are lengthening and autumn is fast approaching. Outdoor evening temperatures this month should be pleasantly mild enough to encourage us to venture outside and look up. At the start of September, true astronomical darkness occurs from 10:30 p.m. until 4 a.m. in our area of Britain. So, what are September's highlights? Each month, as we orbit our nearest star, the Sun, our window to the night sky changes. Currently, constellations lying above the ecliptic like Cassiopeia, Andromeda, Pegasus, and Perseus are coming into season, bringing with them objects like the fabulous Perseus double cluster, which is NGC 869 and NGC 884. I found that one quite easy to remember. Anyway, the famous Andromeda spiral galaxy M31 is up there, and also fine open clusters such as Caroline's Rose, which is NGC 7789. These seasonal objects can be seen as smudges with the naked eye, which is great, but to see their real majesty, use binoculars or even better, a modest or large telescope. On the same note, have you glimpsed M45, the wonderful Pleiades? Oh, it's an open cluster. Have you seen it yet? Pleiades is an unmistakable welcome sight, heralding the return of autumn and winter constellations. Just look to the eastern sky around midnight for a small patch of bright stars of a similar shape to the miniature Ursa Major or Plough. Okay, moving on. We have lots of planets on show this month. Back on the evening scene is the mighty and popular Jupiter, which dominates the night sky. Distant Neptune comes to opposition on the 19th, though it still lies at a staggering 29 astronomical units from Earth. Sublime Saturn is low, but well placed in our evening sky. Saturn is in Aquarius. It remains well placed all month. Notice the tilt of the rings. As with so much in space and on Earth, the appearance of Saturn's rings from Earth is cyclical. In 2017, the north side of the rings opened up to 27 degrees as seen from Earth. That's the most open this side of the rings has been since 1988. But in 2023, this year, the angle is down to around 8 degrees. But it's still very easy to see the expanse of the rings as we look at the planet's northern hemisphere. The rings span 44.2 arc seconds, with the planet's disk spanning 19 arc seconds. Now, however, in 2025, the rings will appear edge-on as seen from the Earth, so we may not be able to see them. After that, we will begin to see the south side of Saturn's ring, which will gradually increase to a maximum inclination of 27 degrees by May 2032. So this is a scene that's always changing. It's worth thinking about that when you see Saturn. Okay, moving on a little. Enigmatic Mercury puts on its best morning show of the year, and dazzling Venus looks fab in the pre-dawn skies during the second half of the month. Right, don't miss looking up at the big and bright globular cluster Messier 2. It resides in Aquarius. It is probably the best globular cluster to be found in our northern or autumn sky, and it can easily be seen through a pair of binoculars or a modest-sized scope. So, are you ready for looking up? Deep Sky on show this month. As always, last month's items mostly apply. At opposition on the ecliptic this month is Aquarius, the water bearer. Let's consider a few of the delights in Aquarius. The Helix Nebula, which is NGC 7293, shines at magnitude plus 7.3. It is the closest planetary nebula to us, and it's also one of the largest known. It covers an area 16 minutes in diameter, more than half of that of the full moon. Its faint halo extends even more to 28 minutes. That is the size of the moon. This is a difficult object for visual observing. In binoculars and rich field scopes, the helix looks like a ghostly, almost circular disk. In larger telescopic instruments, for better results, use low magnification and an oxygen-free or UHC filter. Another notable nebula in Aquarius is the bright bluish-green, aptly named Saturn Nebula, NGC 7009, or Caldwell 55, Patrick Moore. Okay, it shines at magnitude plus 7.8 when viewed. It looks like a fainter version of the ring planet Saturn. This is well worth seeking out. You may then see how much it resembles planet Saturn. I've seen it several times and it's worth looking at. Messier 2, I mentioned it previously a few minutes ago, is the showpiece object in Aquarius. It is one of the largest known globular clusters with an intense core of stars. At magnitude plus 6.5 and in very good seeing conditions, it is just visible as a patchy area to the unaided eye. Binoculars will reveal M2 as non-stellar, i.e. doesn't look like a star, but a fuzzy patch, while larger telescopes will be able to resolve individual stars, the brightest being around plus 13.1 magnitude. It is a gorgeous glob and well worth a look. M72 or NGC 6981 is a much smaller and fainter globular cluster with a magnitude of plus 9.3. It appears as a pale nebulous patch of light grainy in appearance. Okay, leaving Aquarius now. Constellations Perseus and Cassiopeia contain some great objects. Caroline's Rose, which is General Catalogue 7789, is an open cluster that lies in Cassiopeia near the plane of our Milky Way galaxy. The cluster is also known as the White Rose Cluster because when seen visually, its loops of stars and dark lanes looks like a swirling pattern of rose petals. This is sublime. It's a fine open cluster that is easy to find and is one of my favourite open clusters. And I can recommend you take a closer look at it. It's easy to find, just a little bit right and north of the W of Cassiopeia. Okay, with an apparent magnitude of plus 3.4, the Andromeda Spiral Galaxy M31 is one of the brightest Messier objects. It's also the largest galaxy in our local group, lying around 2.5 million light years away from us. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is the second largest, followed by Triangulum's M33 galaxy as third largest. M31 is visible to the naked eye, even from areas with moderate light pollution, and is easily found in using binoculars. Using a scope, it is also worth trying to see its fainter companion galaxies M32 and M110. I was stunned the first time I ever saw these some years ago, and it's well worth looking for them, and you'll be amazed when you do see them and think that they are galaxies in their own right. Now remember, no filters are required to view galaxies because they're made up of stars, which is a mixture of the full range of white light. So there is a nice sketch where you can find M31 and Caroline's Rose and others in my article in the September EH. Okay, the Little Dumbbell Nebula is a planetary nebula. It's M676. It's a Messier object, and it's in the constellation of Perseus. It is one of the faintest nebulae in Messier's list with a magnitude of plus 10.1, but it's quite within the reach of amateurs with medium scopes, and you'll be amazed when you look at it. It is a miniature version of the main Dumbbell Nebula, which we know as M27. Herschel had suspected this to be a double nebula with both components in contact, but later photographic evidence proved it to be a single planetary nebula. The Little Dumbbell's common name derives from its resemblance, to the larger Dumbbell Nebula M27 in Vulpecula. M76 may be small, but again it's well worth a look. Use medium to high magnification and an oxygen-free or UHC filter to see it easily. Okay, another reminder that the Summer Triangle abounds with great objects and it is still well positioned this month. There's a printable chart of this area in the EH, and all the named objects in the illustration are within the reach of the amateur astronomer. Under the recommended seasonal Messier objects available to us this month section is a printable southern aspect view of some of the most favourable seasonal objects available to us this month. There are lots to see here, and the chart clearly shows the Milky Way running diagonally from Cassiopeia through the sky to Aquila. You should be able to see it once your eyes are dark adapted and there is no bright moon around. There are more objects along with more info in the Looking Up articles, and particularly this month in September's EH. It would be good to hear from you about any observing sessions you may have had, or we can have a chat about any of this stuff if you and I are up at the Obs. This is Steve Smith, wishing you all clear skies and lots of wow moments. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to September's Obscast. Here are your events for September. On the 16th of September there is a solar day for the public, and volunteers are still needed for that. On the 20th of September, Pete Wilson will be giving a talk on diving the flooded passengers of Home Bank Shirt Mine. And on the 26th of September, Paul Money He's giving a talk on new images of the universe. That's Zoom only and will be the usual ID and passcode. Thank you again for listening, and we will see you for your October Obscast.